was trying to do a horizontal video, but it wouldn't play along nicely. So hopefully it is, I guess, vertical. It is what it is. There's nobody watching just yet, so I can go ahead and just keep talking. What's up, nerds? Scott Solo from the Sarlacc Digest coming at you with what should be a live unboxing of a vintage collection case that came in. Yeah, so let's see. Looks like I'm live. I should ask Marco to hop on and double check, make sure I'm live and facing the right direction. Don't know how to do that, so I'm just going to play along here like people are actually watching, even though nobody's watching just yet. So what's up, nerds? I'm coming at you from my toy room. Let's take a quick look around, and yeah, see, I am here in my disaster that is the toy room. Let's see. Here is the USS flag, and on the USS flag is this beauty right here. Case of figures that just came in yesterday. So, oh look, somebody's watching. Good. So I'm not all by myself. But yeah, the toy room. So I'm coming at you live from the toy room. There's all my G.I. Joe stuff here. Not all my G.I. Joe stuff. My Cobra Commander collection. Vintage collection, which is what we're going to be talking to you today about. We're going to be talking about the vintage collection. Some new stuff came in yesterday. Surprise, surprise. Actually, I was pretty shocked. I wasn't expecting it, but I figured while we get a bit of an audience, I'd just take a quick look around and you could see what I'm dealing with here as far as a overcrowded toy room. So give me a thumbs up if it seems like I'm coming through nice and strong here, or if I'm at least not recording sideways. Yeah. So anyway, let's see. You got 4 people watching right now. Hey, that's better than none. So, all right. What I am here to talk to you about today is the latest vintage collection figure set that came out. Wasn't expecting it. Popped in all of a sudden yesterday. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead and do this live. I normally do these in 1-minute increments, but I'm going to unbox the whole damn case for you right now. And yeah, just experimenting with something new. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this around again and put you in the cradle here. Pardon the mess that is the flag. Pardon any bouncing around as I get this thing set up on the tripod. Hey, what's up, Mars? We got Lester Neal. What can you say about DC turning into Star Wars movie-wise? I don't know what that means, man. I don't know what that means. But if you're asking me how I feel about the new Superman movie, I am down. That movie was awesome. Hey, what's up, Jacoby? I thought the new Superman movie was freaking rad. So if that's what you're talking about, then I mean, I don't consider all the new Star Wars movies necessarily rad, but yeah, Superman was awesome. Anyway, not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is vintage collection. Vintage collection has had a really busy week this week. Number one, walked into GameStop and found Mama Nadon, so that was pretty cool. Wasn't expecting him to be at the old GameStop. He's VC362, but I'm going to save him for a different day. Also walked into Target just a couple minutes after that and came across this guy, the Imperial Armored Commando Deluxe figure, VC366. Again, we're going to cover him on a different day, so I'm going to set him aside. But the same freaking day I get home, and this right here is on my porch. So we've got a 8-piece case of vintage collection figures. What do you have? What do we have here? And sorry, you're going to get to see the reviews and all their unedited glory, where I say lots of ums and I probably curse, and I apologize in advance. But let's go ahead and start from the right here, and we will go with, who do we have here? We have VC70, so it's the re-release of Pondo Baba. I do believe it's the 3rd time we've had Pondo Baba pop in here. What is it? Tyrone King. I hope G.I. Joe team helps out the Star Wars team. The prices and what you get for the money as far as lights and sound is awesome. I agree, Tyrone. I really do. I think that the G.I. Joe team has it figured out, but what the G.I. Joe team also has is full rights to G.I. Joe. They don't have to pay a licensing fee, which is why we end up with some of those astronomical prices, and which sucks, but it is what it is, I guess, at this point. Next up, we've got Dengar. He's VC1, I believe. Oh, VC1A. So that's going to be a cool one to open up. I never did open up VC1, so, pretty cool. I get to open him up. Next up, and I'm knocking over my Tashi Station Emporium stands, which, Mooch, I got to come visit you. I need some more. I'm all out. Okay. I'm all nervous. I go live all the time, and I've never done a figure unboxing live, so I'm all nervous, and I don't understand why. Next up, we have Agent Callus from Rebels. Oh, about time. So at the end of this stream, I'm probably going to end up putting these where they belong on the wall. Up next, we have a second Agent Callus. That's right, so I can open one and put one on the wall. Pretty happy about that. Hey, Mooch, what's up, buddy? Lester Neal, Tyrone, G.I. Joe is with Transformers, though. Yeah, man, I tell you what. I don't know how I would feel if Hasbro actually owned Star Wars instead of just licensing it. Probably end up with some really terrible movies that way, I tell you. Next up, we've got Asajj Ventress. Oh, wait, Rebels, Callus. He is VC365. So there we go. Clone Wars, Asajj Ventress. She is VC364, all new. So that's pretty rad. Okay, can't wait for another version of her, the one with hair. And she actually also came two to the case. So I get to open one and put one on the wall. Oh, and next up, it's the one we've all been waiting for. It's the one that everybody's been asking for. It is Mr. Carson Teva. That's right. We finally get the Carson Teva figure that everybody has been clamoring for, VC363. So how cool is that? We get to see, let's see. Chet Maddox. Okay, I see how it is. How you doing? I'm doing good, Chet. What's up, John Graber? I'm going to open them up. Calm down, man. Calm down. I just started this thing. I got to get acclimated to it all. Not used to doing this live. And, of course, a second Carson Teva. This one also will go on the wall. So, who do we want to see me open up first? Do we want to see Carson? Do we want to see Asajj? Do we want to see Alexander Callus? Do we want to see Ponda Baba or Dengar? So I'm going to give you just a couple of seconds while I put these on the wall to let me know what you're thinking. What do you think? Do we want to do Carson Teva, Asajj Ventress, Callus, Ponda Baba, or Dengar? Okay. Both of them. How can I do both at once? What the hell? Open all the doubles first. Yep, that's going to happen. Let's see. Open them. Yep. Hiya. Dengar looks sweet. Yes, he does, Tyrone. He looks really cool. Pretty excited about that one. Okay, so nobody's piping up to tell me which one they want to see first. So I'm going to go with the older figure first. I'm going to go with Dengar. Since Dengar is VC1, we're going to open that one up and we'll just kind of move our way through them. I'll then go to Ponda Baba, I guess. I don't really need Ponda Baba open, but I already have him sealed up. So I don't know. Maybe I won't open Ponda Baba because I don't necessarily need him loose. Yes, Mooch, Dengar first. There we go. So not Dengar first. Well, which one do you want, man? Which one do you want? You may be the showrunner, sir, but you are not the showrunner whenever I'm in control. And I'm in control right now. So we're going to do Dengar first. All right. Empire Strikes Back, card back Dengar. A face only a mother could love. Looks really cool. It is VC01A. I don't know if the Dengar I have on display, let me check them really quick. Dengar I have on display over here, I don't think is Vintage Collection. Maybe it is. No, it doesn't look like it. Could be. Maybe I should pull VC1 off. Let me pull VC1 off the shelf really quick, or off the peg. Reach and got him. So here is VC1, just so you can see the difference between the two, right? You got VC1, you've got a different image on the card back right here. This is VC01, and it shows you the original release right here, and this just shows you the current cover, the current card back. Interesting choice. All right, and what else do we have that is different? We have much better paint apps on the face. Looks like a better, you know what, let me give you some extra light here too. There we go. Got, let's see, better paint apps right here on the new version. Also looks like they may have fixed, nope, they haven't fixed his hips. His hips are still the old school version of the hips. So, I don't know which one I actually like better. I think I like the lighter color on the wrapping around his head than I do right here on the dirtier version of number one. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. So weapons are also differently placed inside the package. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and open up 1A. I'm gonna put one back on the peg. All right, and the one I've got on display might very well be 01. We'll have to check them out. Does have the regular elbows right there. I think this might be the vintage collection one, so interesting. We'll be able to compare the two of them. Okay, so usually how I do this, whenever you watch, I just tear the figure right off the package, and I do that by pre-gaming. I pre-game by pulling it up just a little bit like so I get a clean tear. Oh my God, this is going to be a long-ass video. My apologies, everybody. All right, yeah, just do a little bit of pre-gaming, and I say something, hey, like, what's up, nerds? It is Dengar VC01A. Let's open them up. And that's how it goes. Let's see. I'm actually nervous. My voice is quavering because I don't usually do this live. Let me see. Take him out of the package. Bam. Does have the backpack. It is removable. Yeah, so I believe that one is a vintage collection figure. I actually got it in an estate sale, believe it or not. So, tape and the twist ties on a McFarlane figure. Speaking of McFarlane figures, I've got some pretty cool reviews coming up on those as well. I did find the Guy Gardner Red Lantern and Jade figure while I was traveling through Arizona. So we've got the Red Lantern Guy Gardner coming up as well as Jade. So that's pretty cool. I've also got an Hour Man figure that I got on clearance for $12 because why not? Then there's Super 7 Cobra Commander Once a Man. He's coming too. So, but that's not why you're here. I'm just stalling because I'm nervous, which is weird. And I'm whispering, which is even weirder. All right, articulation on Dengar here. Let me see if I can focus in on him a little bit better. Oh, the dangers of going live directly on YouTube is I cannot refocus. Okay. So, open up a Black Series figure. You buy me a Black Series figure and I'll open it up. I think I've opened up all the Black Series figures I've got, Mooch. So face sculpt looks pretty good. Do like the head wrapping. I like the cleaner head wrapping because he wasn't all dirty in Empire Strikes Back. So yeah, okay. Yeah, repurpose this Tashi Station Emporium or Moocher's 3D print lab stand and use that for this figure. Articulation, you've got the neck, torso, hips are the old school hip right there, which is not great, but it'll serve. It's not like he was doing Olympic gymnastics in the movie, right? He was just kind of standing there. Hey, if you can find that Gamerverse figure for me again, you can open it up. You got it, man. I'll head over to GameStop after this and probably find it for you. The knee does rotate and bend like so, but it is a single articulated knee. And he does not have ankle rockers. They're just or does he? They twist and they have the bend right there, but it's not a full rocker. So that's that. Shoulders, I think I covered that. Single elbow. Of course, the vintage collection only really have single elbows, but they have pretty good bend to them. And then he does have his wrist articulation right there. Okay, deep breath. He also has this little removable waist piece right there, which is kind of interesting. Interesting choice. Does have the backpack with some paint apps on it right there. Got to kind of hold the phone or the image right here. The image. I got to hold the toy here so it stays in focus for you. Let's see. You can. I think I can cosplay as Dengar. You would, Mooch. You could cosplay as Dengar, but you'd have to shave, and that would be terrifying. Never seen Moocher without a beard. So, all right, pops right into his back like so. Actually, I think I had my backpack on backwards on this one. I like the paint apps on the last version of it better, so I might swap that out just so I can get the variation in color right there. He also has the Han Solo DL blaster. Go ahead and put that in his holster like that. And then he has the large blaster rifle, which is all you ever really see him carrying in The Empire Strikes Back. The one missed opportunity I find with the current Disney Plus animated series, especially like Book of Boba Fett, is they had an opportunity to bring in these bounty hunters from Empire Strikes Back, and they chose not to. And I don't quite get that. But it is what it is, right? Book of Boba Fett, yeah, definitely was a thing. It was a thing. All right, so there we go. It is Dengar. Looks pretty good. I like I said, I like the paint apps on this one better, but I like the paint apps on the weapons and accessories better on the regular 01 or the number one, the original 01. So I'm probably going to do some swapping out, and I'll get rid of this guy because I like the paint apps on this one on the actual figure itself better. All right, ultimate test. The Tashi Station Emporium stands. Look at that. Fits perfectly, snaps right into place. Whether or not his ankles can hold up to the test is another thing. Figures fall over, but it's not because of the stands. Let's see. There we go. Tashi Station Emporium to the rescue for Dengar. I'll go ahead and set him aside. And then let me double check what I've got over here on display. I might not have the Ponda Baba. Yeah, maybe I don't have Ponda Baba in Vintage Collection. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Why the heck not? So next up, we've got Ponda Baba. Ponda Baba VC70. It is the re-release of Hello, greetings from Japan. That's cool. What's up, man? Could you show me your favorite ARC clone trooper? Oh, my favorite ARC clone trooper. I wish Captain or Commander Bly was on here. He could officially tell me which is an ARC trooper. I do believe my favorite ARC trooper figure that I've got, pardon me, I believe it's Captain Fordo. It is Vintage Collection though, so that's probably my favorite ARC trooper right there. I really dig the red, and it's just a cool figure. But he's not why we're here today. Set him aside. Check it out. Tashi Station Emporium stands for all your Tashi Station Emporium for all your figure stand needs. I'm about to open up Carson Teva already, but that's not what we're doing yet. Ponda Baba with all of his extra limbs and a cup and stuff. We're sticking with that Return to Tatooine theme with him. So eventually, whenever my Cantina comes in, you guys will get a long form video on that. Let's go ahead and do some pre-gaming on this, get that separated. Man, they really use some pretty darn good glue these days on these things. And then we'll pretend that this is a straight up 1 minute toy review. I might actually break this down into 1 minute toy review segments too, just to keep that algorithm going. All right, so check it out, everybody. It's Ponda Baba from the Vintage Collection. That's right, it's a re-release of VC70. So let's open it up. And then we're going to go ahead and remove him from the package. Lots of accessories. Nowadays, if you got this many accessories, it's a deluxe figure, right? Pop him out. Good old Walrus Man. His extra hand out there. And they're re-releasing him again as well in that kind of retro pack with a retro backdrop. Kind of excited about that, but at the same time, I think they kind of half-assed it whenever it came to the paint apps. Just giving him a blue stripe down his jacket. It should be a orange vest with blue arms, but hey, what can you do, right? At least we're getting another one. Let's see. I can't pronounce your name, man. I'm so sorry, but I can't find that Captain anywhere, not on Amazon nor in regular stores. It's a bit frustrating. I agree. It was a figure that was originally released at Walmart out here in America. So I don't know where you might be able to find that one nowadays, if not on eBay, right? And nobody wants to pay those eBay fees, or nobody wants to pay the eBay price, right? All right, let's talk about Ponda Baba here, though. That is a good looking. I forget what species he was. Oh my God, what is wrong with me right now? See, I'm telling you, the nerves are getting to me. But somebody pipe in with what species he is. I can't remember. But it's going to come to me the second I start moving on. Articulation. You've got neck, shoulders. He does have the ball jointed shoulder right there. I believe that's specifically so you can remove that arm and replace it with the cutoff arm. He has hips, which are again those old standard hips, single knees. Aqualish, thank you, Mooch. God, what is wrong with me? Knees single articulated right there, but they do twist. And he has the standard ankle articulation, again, not a rocker. Again, shoulders, single elbow, wrists, and torso right there. Not much torso, just a little bit in the waist. So that is it's not a bad looking figure. These little pads are silly though. I was always kind of laughing at those, but that's okay. If you don't like those for one scene of the movie, you can go ahead and swap them out to his other hands so you don't have those weird pads, right? You can swap this hand out. He is kind of modular this way. You can pop the hand off of this arm. There we go. And we can go like that. You can have both the standard hands right there, or pop that back off again, put it on this arm. There we go. And go ahead and move that joint over a little bit. Pop the arm off, pop this arm on, and then all of a sudden you piss off the wrong Jedi Knight and you lose an arm. Throw that on the ground. So, yeah, that is how Ponda Baba had a really bad day. Pop that arm back on like so and show you what else he comes with. He does come with his blaster. So there you go. And put that in his hand. Okay. Let's see. Does his blaster fit in his holster? Looks like it. There we go. Kind of looks a little awkward. I might need to work on that a little bit and see if there's a better way of getting that in there. But it does fit mostly. Okay. And then he comes with a cup for drinking. So he can stand at the bar and get angry whenever he doesn't like the look of Luke Skywalker. That is not a bad figure. It actually looks pretty cool. I don't know how I'll have him displayed whenever the cantina comes in. Maybe he'll be displayed with his regular arm. Maybe I'll lay the arm on the ground and just have a bloody mess. But either way, that is a pretty cool figure. And I do not have him on display yet. So this re-release is really well timed. I'm pretty pleased about that. Can he stand without a Tashi Station Emporium stand? For now, he can. I'm telling you, Mooch, I got to come visit you today and pick up some stands. So, okay, moving on. Do we want to see Carson Teva? Do we want to see Alexander Callis or Asajj Ventress? Which one do we want to see next? My money is on Asajj Ventress. I kind of want to build up to the whole Carson Teva thing since it was such an in-demand figure. And since he was in demand, we covered this on the Toy Chest not too long ago. Since everybody was clamoring for Carson Teva, go out there and buy it if you find it. Don't ask for a figure and then not buy it. They'll never do it again, right? Because anything that we do wrong, I don't want to say we do wrong. What Hasbro does wrong is they take our lack of purchasing things as a personal affront, and then we will never see them again. Kind of like they did with the Rancor, the HasLab Rancor, which is a very poorly run campaign, but they don't want to fix it. They just want to say it's our fault because it didn't get done. So, all right, that is a horse that has been beaten to death in the past, but we're going to move on to Asajj Ventress first. I see you, Chet. Don't worry, we'll get to Carson, but I'm going to build up to that one last because I think it's a big deal to have him have his figure reviewed last. Asajj Ventress is VC 364. That is an all new figure. So pretty pleased about that. Let's go ahead and around. I'll do that again in just a second for editing purposes. A little bit of behind the scenes and how all this stuff works for my reviews. All right, here we go. Kind of lay that back down there. me. Okay, here we go. What's up, nerds? Check it out. It's Clone Wars Asajj Ventress. That is VC364. Let's open her up. Ba, 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 ba. And then I do the whole with the logo thing, but I'm not doing that right now. Oh, God, that's so stupid. Sorry, guys. All right, figure looks pretty good. Let's pop her out of there. All right. She comes with a couple of lit sabers and a couple of just hilts. That's pretty rad. I do like that they're doing that because whenever you get the removable blades on some of these vintage collection figures, good God, this is in there. There we go. Whenever you have the removable blades, you have an opportunity of breaking your toy every time you remove that blade. I had somebody tell me that they bought their very first Black Series figure, as a matter of fact, and it was the new Luke Skywalker that's out there. And the minute they removed their blade, it broke. I find that suspect. I've had hundreds of Black Series figures, and none of the lightsaber pegs have ever broken. I don't go around plucking them out all the time, but I don't know. It just seems a little suspect. Did that truly happen, or are you just complaining because you don't like Star Wars? I mean, maybe. Who knows? I don't know what evil lies in the hearts of men. But here we go. Asajj Ventress looks pretty cool. Looks a lot like the vintage or the Black Series version that we got, just a little tinier. Articulation, neck, shoulders. That's good shoulder articulation. Elbow and wrist. The elbows also twist. We've got waist, not much torso, but waist. She does have the cloth goods skirt, and this is not me being a prevert. This is me showing you what the articulation looks like underneath. She does have the cool hip joint, thigh. All right, knees. The knees twist as well, so you can really get some contortion going there for the posing. And so, yeah, knees twist, and she does have the full ankle rocker. So, yeah, she can do all sorts of gymnastics here. All right. Looking pretty good. The paint apps on it are spot on. I can't wait for them to come out with a new version of her with hair, too, from the Tales of the Underworld. That would be awesome. And I guess she was also that way for Bad Batch. You can market her either way. Not bad. I do like the, as far as paint apps go, I like the silver, not the silver, but the shine on the belt buckle. That's pretty cool. The tattoos on the back of her head, pretty prominent. They look really nice. This is a good looking figure. Where's the only other Asajj Ventress that I have in my collection is an old school animated style. So this one will probably replace that one. Yeah, I really like the animated look of it, but this is just a really good looking figure. Digging it. All right, let's go ahead and set her aside. I dropped one of the hilts. I'm trying not to bump the tripod. All right. She does come, like I said, with the lit lightsabers, and they do attach. So you can have one really long double-bladed lightsaber. That's pretty neat. Unplug that. And then, of course, she comes with the two extinguished hilts, which also join together like that. That's pretty cool. Yeah, interesting. All right. Pop that off. They do have pegs, so you can attach it to her belt. You can see it right there a little bit. And does it have a place on her belt to attach them? I don't see a spot to attach them. There are no holes on her belt for that, and they wouldn't go under the skirt, so there shouldn't be anything on a thigh. That's kind of a missed opportunity right there. So she can either hold the individual hilts in her hands, which could be kind of cool, or you can go ahead and put the lightsaber. Her hands are super tiny, and the hilts are really, really thick. Huh. That's unfortunate. Maybe I won't replace. Yeah, you really got to bend her hand. You got to contort her hand to fit the blade. There we go. It does wrap around like so, but it's a really big hilt for a really tiny hand. All right, but it looks good in her hand. And look at that little balled up fist right there almost. I got to bend her fingers way out. Yeah, this is the really exciting shit right here whenever you get to watch me screw around with these things and possibly break a figure. They're so rubbery, they don't break. I don't know why I said that. Okay, yeah, looks pretty good. Digging it. I do like the head sculpt better on this one than the animated version right there. You can definitely tell the animated version is more rigid than this one. This one's got that more flexible plastic that Hasbro's been using. So yeah, doesn't look too bad though. I'm digging it. Do I have a spare stand lying around here? All my stands are 6-inch scale. Yeah, I don't think I've got. Yeah, I don't have any 3 3/4 inch scale, do I? Wait a minute. I do. I do. Nice. Okay, pop that in there. Tashi Station. This is an old school Tashi Station Emporium stand. It's how long I've been a customer of Darth Moocher's. This is a single peg 3 3/4 inch stand right here. And there we go. So, and I knocked the hilts down again. So that is a Saj Ventress. Not a bad figure. I do not like the fact that she doesn't have a place to put her hilts on her belt. That kind of sucks, but as a whole, it's not a deal breaker either. Oh man, I'm down to the two that I was most excited about. How it is that Alexander Callis here comes with all the accessories that he comes with, and they didn't call it a deluxe is kind of surprising. I mean, there's not a ton in the box, but it's almost just enough for them to want to call it a deluxe. I'm glad they didn't. I'm digging it that it is. Darth Moocher, I'll bring you some stands. Thank you, sir. I'll just come and visit you. You don't have to come all the way out here. That's pregame right here. Get that going. I love Rebels. It is my favorite thing, Star Wars, after Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back's my favorite movie. And after that, I just love Rebels. The first season was the first half of the first season had a bit of a kid's flair to it. The animation was kind of suspect at times, but the overall story, if you're going story, you can't beat Rebels, man. It's just a great, great show. So, what's up, nerds? Check it out. It's Star Wars Rebels Alexander Callis figure. That's VC 365. Let's open them up. And I just flung something over there. So, that's the stuff I do that you normally see edited out. So yeah, I threw his staff over there. I forget what Zeb called that weapon, but it's the weapon of his people. Go ahead and move that out. Why they insist on these in every figure package, I don't know. And save a tree or two and stop doing that. Nobody reads it. First off, we'll move the staff. Taped in there real good. Taped in there good enough for me to hurl this plastic coffin across the room, and it didn't come out. Oh my God. They're using industrial strength tape these days. Still, it's better than those little ties that they use in the McFarlane figures. I swear to God, these things right here, these little bastards, they are all over my toy room. I've got to vacuum regularly just to find these stupid things. Okay, enough of that. Get the figure out first. I can tell you already the paint apps on this are awesome. This figure, man, that is a cool figure. Remove the helmet. And we have the energy bursts for the staff. While I talk to you a little bit about this, I'm going to go grab my other Agent Callis that I have. The Agent Callis I've got on display right now is from the old Rebels action figure line, so I can't wait to replace that one. This is the original Agent Callis right here. It was good for its time, but it's time to move on and put this one to pasture. So actually, I will utilize that stand for this new Agent Callis. All right, check that out. That is a cool looking. It would help if it was in focus. That is a cool looking figure. I'm digging the mutton chops on him. The paint apps in his hair too. There's some very subtle variations in his hair that just look rad. Hey, what's up, Death Spinks? Death Spinks and team. Hi there. What's up? Welcome. Make sure you pan that toy room at the end. People need to see. I started the stream out panning around, and I will. I will absolutely show everybody the toy room. This is the USS Flag right here. This is usually where I do my reviews. You'll see just kind of random crap scattered about, but what you don't see is what's up. So we'll go over all that again as well. All right, so Agent Callus, he does have his rank insignia right there in his armor. The armor is not removable. That's cool. We're going to get, I just look at this as an opportunity to get different figures with this armor, which is awesome because they've got that new Imperial body type that they're using right now, but we lack people in armor, and there's some opportunity there that I'm very, very cool. Mic is low. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you're right. My mic is low. What the hell? Let me see. Spare mic. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I'll take a spare mic here and replace it because I think the mic on the other one is dead. There we go. Okay, cool. Fix. Yeah, my other mic is dead. So good catch, Mooch. Thank you very much. That would have been embarrassing. Not that the rest of this video hasn't been embarrassing. Articulation. Neck on a nice ball joint right there. Shoulders. You've got the single elbow bend, but it also twists. And you have got the wrist articulation right there. Waist, it's got a click in there. Don't know if you can hear it. Hips, this is a hard plastic right here, so his hip mobility is a little bit limited, but not too bad because they have those cut slits in there. So you've got hips, thigh. This is a badass figure. I'll tell you right now, this is a badass figure. Thigh and single knees with the knee twist. And of course, you've got the ankle rocker right there. So already this figure can pose awesome, which this one, of course, had 5 points of articulation and could not pose worth a damn. So we're just kind of going to put him over here and never speak of that one again. All right. The helmet pops on and check that out. That is cool. With the helmets, the removable helmets, you have the opportunity to have either something that looks massive and they look ridiculous or just scaled right. And I think this one's on the just scaled right spectrum right here. I think that one works out really nicely. It doesn't look too gaudy. It doesn't look too huge on his head. Okay, it's not like this one right here where it looks like his helmet is his head. I told you I wasn't going to speak of this one again, so get out of here. So instead of looking like it is his head, it actually looks like a helmet, and that's cool. All right. Doesn't take much to impress me whenever it comes to upgrades like that. They just look, God, look at that. All right. This one might actually, we're a little over halfway through the year, and this one might be on my vintage collection figures of the year list already. This one is just cool. All right. Go ahead and put the staff in his hand. Like so. Okay. Staff is huge. I wasn't expecting the staff to be quite as I wasn't expecting it to be as long as it is. Enough of that. And you can put the electric bursts on either. Okay, there's a hole. You can't really see it right there. There's a hole at the end, so you can actually plug them into the staff like that, which is cool because on some of the figures that I've had recently, the little bursts have wrapped around staves and they can't quite sit right. So this is a very, very nice take on that. But man, the thing is massive. I gotta get Zeb. What does Zeb's look like? Grab Zeb off the. Yeah, I guess that's right. It's about the same length. Yeah, same length. Why am I shaking? I'm not nervous anymore. But this is a really cool figure. And Zeb fell over because he is top front heavy. All right, let's go ahead and pop. Do I have any double peg stands from Tashi Station Emporium's 3 3/4 inch figure line? No, I think they're scattered around already all over my display. So we're going to go. Oh, No. Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and go with the standard single peg. We need a Callus in Black Series. Yes, I agree. I would actually buy that Black Series figure if they did. And, I only do I do every vintage collection figure because that's my primary line, but I only do Black Series if it's a character that I absolutely must own, and Callus is a must own. So there we go, a Tosche Station Emporium 3 3/4 inch stand. See if I can put him down, and there he goes. Nice. He stands right up. That's awesome. I can see this one, though, being a problem if without a double stand or double peg stand because his ankles are pretty weak. So if he falls over, once again, it is not the fault of the stand. It is the fault of the figure. Guaranteed. All right, now on to the main event right now. We have got Carson Teva. Finally, Paul's figure has come in. It is VC363. So if I could only get Paul on the stream, that would be really cool to have him in here commenting, but haven't seen him. I think he's busy filming right now. We haven't seen a whole lot of him on the Sarlacc Digest or the Toy Chest streams. I'll have to ask Ernie about that because Paul is a friend of the channel. All right. What's up, nerds? It's Carson Teva from the Mandalorian VC363. Let's open them up. That one didn't turn out so great, but that's okay. I got the carded one right there. Again, these pieces of crap that we don't need, set that aside. Now that we've got Carson Teva and he's wearing his jacket, there's opportunities to do him again without the jacket on. And also the new body type opens up all sorts of new opportunities, right? We can get Red 5 from Rogue One. We can get Jack Porkins. That would be awesome. Just all sorts of opportunities that come with having this new body type. Also, I could then dress as an X-Wing pilot and I could make my own figure because I'm a little tubby too. Sorry, Paul. Anyway, boy, how to get canceled really quick. All right, so let's see. Chet Maddox checking in with the chat. Chet Maddox just ordered Darth Malgus. So excited. Saw Darth Malgus yesterday. I think I saw Darth Malgus yesterday. Am I thinking incorrectly? Might be thinking incorrectly. Saw a couple of re-released Darth figures. I saw Darth Nihilus at GameStop with... See, I'm not an Old Republic guy. I'd never played the game, so I'm trying to remember who was released and who has not been released already. Neither here nor there. Carson Teva, articulation. You've got neck, torso, hips, thighs, single knees. Knees also... knees twist too, so you can get some pretty good articulation in there. Now we're going to need an X-Wing fighter for him. And of course, we've got the ankle rockers. Shoulders. It was a bit of a hard time trying to bend his elbow right there. I'm going to have to heat that up, and I don't want to risk it while on the live stream here. I don't want a broken figure. Oh, there we go. There's an elbow articulation right there. Well, he was a friend of the show. I know, right? Let's see. What have we got here? We've got the Rebel Alliance logo or the New Republic logo on his shoulder. We've also got his squadron patches on the jacket. That is really cool. This is a great figure. Yeah, I'm digging it. Okay, he does. Okay, it would not look good if you took the vest portion or the jacket off, because then, of course, he just has the jacket arms. So I'm telling you, we have an opportunity here to get a Carson Teva in his regular flight suit as well. That would be awesome. Let me see. Look at that. Check it out. That looks great. I'm pleased. I'm really happy with this figure. Like I said, though, we just need his X-Wing fighter now, and we are golden. He also comes with the blaster rifle. Like so. Don't push it, Scott. Don't push it. Yeah, not bad. Maybe he's left-handed. I'll have to ask. But that is a great looking figure. I love the paint apps on the helmet. They really took their time with this. This whole wave has been pretty fantastic. Specifically, though, the new 3 figures, the Asajj Ventress, the Agent Callus, and Carson here. Those are great figures. All right. So I don't think there's much else to say about the new figures that came in the wave. I'm not going to open up the other two that came in this week or that I found this week. Not going to open up Moment of Dawn or the Imperial Armored Commando just yet. We're going to save that for a later stream or a later episode. But I do have a request, and that request was to, yeah, and I meant to say one more time, just to beat a dead horse, Tashi Station Emporium for all your action figure stand needs. With that out of the way, we are going to, sorry about putting my hand over the All right, so looking around the room here, like I said, this is the USS Flag where I do the majority of my figure reviews. I have a mess I need to clean up. I know, don't judge. Let me see, what else have we got? We've got G.I. Joe. So I do have every single G.I. Joe figure released from 1982 to 1994. That includes vehicles. They're not, all the figures are on display, but the vehicles are not. I do have some vehicles in storage. Sorry if this is bouncing around a little bit. I'm trying to avoid the landmines that are in my toy room. The vintage collection figures are carded up there on peg hooks. They're all in numerical order, so if you give me a number, I can usually pull it off of there without much fuss. But I'm not going to do that right now because that is not what this is about. More G.I. Joe right here. We've got, it's all vintage, by the way, or Super 7, the Reaction Plus figures, which fit right in. So, yeah, I've also got some Green Lanterns. And then if you look, trying not to move too fast so I don't make people seasick, if you look up in the room, there are ships flying about. All right, let's move over here really quick. We've got some Mandalorian figures up here. More vintage collection. I do have these vintage figures are the only ones that are out of order. That's because they are all autographed. I took them to Celebration and had the actors autograph those. Let me see. What else have we got up here? We've got some Disneyland stuff. Got just a random shuttle sitting on top of the Star Speeder. I do have my vintage figures, my vintage carded Star Wars figure. They are scattered all over this room. So you might see some more as we move around. Got some comic pack figures, got some Aquari figures, and then of course I've got some 3D printed stuff, environments around here as well. I'm gonna have to completely rework this whenever the cantina comes in, just to fit that silly thing. I was gonna say something else, but let's move through here. This is the Disneyland exclusive Sandcrawler right here. It had some really garish colors whenever I bought it, so I went ahead and I repainted it and weathered it up, made it look like it was driving through the street or the sand dunes of Tatooine. We've got this modular set up here, and yeah, moving down, we've got some Rogue One figures and my pilots. And then, of course, we've got some Hoth stuff happening here. A couple more 3D printed environment. Oh, look, Princess Leia. A couple more 3D printed environments. And then, of course, you've got the carbon freezing chamber. So that's here. I'm not going to show you my Book of Boba Fett display, which is down there because it looks shitty right now. I need to rework that. But I do have my Endor display, which is pretty awesome. If I do say so myself, I do think the Endor display is really cool. And then moving down here, I've got my Death Star display. See, Leia didn't have a Tashi Station Emporium stand, so she's just lying around. But got some 3D printed environments right here. If I go a little bit lower down there, you see some of Darth Moocher's Tashi Station Emporium environments down there as well. And then we've got my Streets of Tatooine. I haven't quite put it up yet. Let me see. I do have a bit of a mess. Oh, sorry for moving the camera so fast there. I do have a bit of a mess down here, which I haven't messed with this guy right here. This is my Death Star 2 playset because I'm working on something else courtesy of Tashi Station Emporium. I keep talking about Darth Moocher and Tashi Station Emporium. And man, I got to dust some stuff. Got my Night Force figures there. Anyway, let's go ahead and move up. Stand. Ooh, my knees. I'm old. All right, we're gonna move over here a little bit. Let's go check out what's in the closet. We've got some vintage vehicles and vintage action figures all sealed up in their little plastic cocoons. And I also have some mask stuff here. Chet Maddox and I, we are going to work on something. I can't really talk about it too much, but it is regarding, because we haven't quite figured out what it is just yet, but it is regarding mask. I do have a complete vintage collection of mask that was domestically released in the United States. So we now have that new Loyal Subjects line coming out. Kind of excited about it if they take it the way the retro figures from Hasbro are handled and actually release figures and vehicles that were never done before. But if they don't and they're just re-releasing old stuff, that line's not going to be for me. We do have some Visionaries figures here. I don't know if you remember Visionaries, the Knights of the Magical Light, but I do have an almost complete collection of those. There's one vehicle I don't have because it's expensive as hell. So got some Battlestar Galactica, Buck Rogers, and Ghostbusters. Move up here. We don't talk about these figures because then Darth Moocher gets weird. He gets really weird whenever you see those guys on camera. But again, more vintage goodness. Some custom figures that were done or that I have done. Let's see what else. I got this recently at a toy show and I'm so excited about it. A carded vintage Green Lantern figure. I just have to figure out a way to properly display him. What else have we got? We've got some Darth Moocher, don't say it. We've got some Sith Lords here and some Boba Fett's, lots and lots and lots of Boba Fett's. But let's go up here into the closet and you can see some of the other goodies that I've got. I do have a vintage carded Sandcrawler up there, which is cool. What you can see also right here is an AT-AT in the, it's not an AT-AT, it is an AT-AT. In the box right there. Then we've got the little mini rigs. Those are the last of the line. I do have a complete collection of vintage Star Wars in-box vehicles, except for that. I do not have a box for the ATL Interceptor from Droids. I just have the vehicle itself. Okay, that is a double telescoping Luke Skywalker as well. We won't talk about that, except for the fact that I got it for $1 at an estate sale. We also have the Tatooine Skiff, Droid Side Gunner, Cy Snoodles up there. We have got all sorts of awesome stuff. More vintage. Those figures aren't carded, but they're clamshelled with their original card backs, just to have them on display. It looks pretty cool that way. And then we go just a little bit lower. We get to Greedo right there, and that is the start of my carded figure collection right there. All-terrain attack transport. That's right, AT-AT. That's right, AT-AT. Then I've got my Superpowers figures. I'm actually going to go around so we can look at it from a different angle. Right now, I can't move any further because of things that have come in that I have not yet opened. Sorry about the quick twists. Trying to look at what's going on in here and not fall on my ass. It's my hallway, so we're going to close that. All right, and we've got lightsabers and a Batwing. I'm telling you, if you haven't seen the review on that Batwing vehicle, $16 on Amazon for that Batwing figure, and you cannot pass it up. It is a cool figure, and I also have my sonic screwdriver, so I'll move my sonic screwdriver over. Got a couple lightsabers right there. The majority of my lightsaber collection is in the other room, but you go up above and you see more vintage goodness. Very, very cool stuff. At least I think it's cool. Got the last 17 figures right there. That is a vintage yak face right there. Cool figure. Got him for I got him for $100 on eBay about 15 years ago. Somebody was selling him as an alien. That was it. Alien action figure, and it was a yak face. Yeah, all of these are legit too. They are not re-releases. They are not custom. They are released. They are legit. And then I've got some bagged figures right here. And my superpowers collection, which my superpowers figures kind of piss me off a little bit. I love them, but they're inconsistent whenever it comes to figure stand sizes. So I've got some Batman decided to fall and take out a few people. He took out Guy Gardner, Superman, and Our Man and the Flash because he was just tired of standing apparently. And then Dr. Fate fell over there. It's been a freaking massacre. So I'm going to have to get in there and stand everybody back up. It's part of the fun of this stuff, right? We've also got more vintage collection, not vintage collection, but actual vintage figures carded and pegged to the wall right there. I don't know if can I turn this camera around? I am going to turn the camera around. Hello, everybody. We're going to go up into the closet and you can see that I've got some stuff on the inside of the closet as well. So yeah, just some fun stuff on the inside of the closet. Got Nightwing, that's actually autographed by the voice actor. Kevin Conroy autographed that Batman figure for me. He was a really nice guy. It's too bad he's gone too soon. But let me see if I can get anything else up there. It goes all the way down. There's all sorts of stuff up there, including a Mickey Mouse that's dressed up as Indiana Jones. And yeah, pretty crazy, huh? All right. What else? What else? What else do you want to see? Let's see. Turn this way. Ewok Village. Moving around, and we've got. You're welcome, Mooch. We've got the Ghost. This thing is a beast. If you've seen my review on the Ghost, it's, I don't know, about 30, 40 minutes long, and it is just an awesome vehicle. We've got the Razor Crest. I've got my Rebels collection right here. Move this stupid bag out of the way, and then you can get down here and you can see some of my Clone Wars figures that, again, I just got to get in here and fix them all up. I'm going to move up here a little bit more. Now, what is in your fridge? Not enough beer. I'll tell you that right now. I need to go. I need to make a beer run. Let's see. We have got the backside of the Razor Crest. It's like the backside of water, just cooler. We've got this modular set, which I tried doing a review on, but this is a piece of crap. I couldn't get it to stay still long enough or to keep standing long enough for me to actually do a decent review on it. So I didn't bother making you guys watch that because it's a piece of crap. So let's see, what else we got? We've got the turbo tank, including my custom Mandalorian Obi-Wan Kenobi, and just all sorts of Clone Wars era figures. Let me move down here, and I've got my prequel and Clone Wars figure sets. There ain't a whole lot more to talk about right now. Honestly, it is just my tiny little room crammed full of cool crap. Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of it. That is that's the toy room and the new vintage collection case for all of you. And thank you, Darth Moocher, for encouraging me to do this. I sent him a message about 5 minutes before I started the stream and said, I'm going to do this thing. I've never done this thing before. I'm going to do it. And then he's like, go for it. And I'm like, shit, I don't know how to do this. So yeah, I think it turned out pretty successful. Had quite a few people watching. That's pretty cool. If there is, let's see, Lydia, can I ask a question? You just did. So no, you're out of questions now. Absolutely. Go ahead and ask your question. As I turn this around. So thank you, Sec. I don't have my reading glasses. Yes, I'm an old man. I have to use reading glasses. Sakic score, good stream. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Do you have any clones? I mean, like personally? No, people tell me I look a lot like other people all the time, but no. Let's see. Yes, clone figures. Flip it. Boop. Flipped it again, and I think I just covered a bunch of that down here. Got all sorts of clones. As you see, the figures fall over, but Tashi Station Emporium stands. They remain. All sorts of clones. Tons of clones. So yes, all sorts of different variations of vintage collection clones. I do have a whole area that is Black Series, but that's in a different room, and I'm not going to take you to that room because then you got to walk through my house, and that's just an invasion of privacy. So yes, I do have a whole bunch of 6-inch Black Series clones as well. But yeah, what you see is what you get here. Anybody else have any questions? I don't really have anything else to share just yet. Oh, I do have this really cool piece. Check this out. My best friend Jesse bought me this for my 50th birthday last year. That's right, I am old. It is pretty cool. It is a big cardboard set of Clone Wars action figures, including, who have we got here? Sorry if I'm shaking still. Now I'm holding this awkwardly. Battle Droid, Ahsoka. We've got, I can't see. There we go. Back it up a little bit. Vizsla. We've also got Clone Trooper Captain Rex, I think. I can't tell because it's at an angle. I think that's Captain Rex. Let me take a look. No, that's Oddball. There we go. That's Oddball. Pre-Vizsla. And we've got, straighten this out, trying to look at this while I do it. Heavy. We've got Kit Fisto, R2D2, and there's Captain Rex right there. So that's a pretty cool set. I honestly have no place to put it anywhere in this room, so it just kind of sits right here next to Boulder Hill from Mask, and of course the katana. Yeah, so that's it. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciated it. This went about 30 minutes longer than I intended, so for that I apologize. But I really do appreciate you tuning in, and drop any comments you want down below. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, tell me you didn't like it. Give me a thumbs down. That's cool too. It's always fun. I like getting thumbs down because I like laughing at people whenever they do that, because they never tell you why they give it a thumbs down. They just give it a thumbs down. That's just mean. Anyway, so yeah, thank you for tuning in. Let me know if you want to see any other things in the toy collection, and maybe I'll do another stream pretty soon. And yeah, that's it. So I'm going to end this thing like I always do and say, keep it nerdy, my friends. Oh, wait a minute. Can you show the room again? Sorry, I cannot get it. No, Mooch, you know where I live. Come on over, man. We'll play. That's it, everybody. I really appreciate you tuning in. And as always, keep it nerdy. Yes, I really want to stop streaming.